Norway, Romania, Serbia, San Marino, and Denmark. Those are the 5 countries we just had watched have their second rehearsals at Eurovision 2018. Should we talk about it? Let's do this! Yes, the rehearsals roll on, they move forward, and we are still alive like those Slovak twins back in 2011. My mic is on, the wind is blowing, and we are ready. Kicking it off in this set was
Norway's Alexander Rybak with That's How You Write a Song.
Thank you, sir. He was right in that song. Yes, he was. This already looked good before, and it still looks good now. We know that he's been battling the flu. He tweeted this a few days ago saying that after his rehearsal he became ill. And you can tell when you know he's not at 100% capacity because the flu is incredibly debilitating. So he was slightly holding back, yet he was still charming and he still had the on-screen charisma, which is so important to doing well at Eurovision. He's able to turn it on and then turn it off when he leaves. In any case, I think that the visuals were even stronger this time. There's this point when he starts playing the violin, the dancers speedily go away, and the camera focuses in on him, and it's like, bam, Norway is here, Alexander is here. It's great. I don't really have any suggestions or criticisms because if you like this, you're gonna love it. If you didn't like it, you're still not gonna like it, but you'll hopefully at least respect it because it's very well done.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening, whether it's Stockholm Syndrome or just kind of craziness from being in this bubble for so long, but it's not grating on me quite so much as it once did. Maybe I've just come to accept it. Like, there wasn't anything really that needed to be done because he'd perfected it in Melody Grand Prix and then transplanted that performance to Lisbon, and then it was just a case of doing it again. And really the only thing that was at fault, if you ignore the whole song itself, because that's not going to be changed, was that Rybak was ill and he looked ill. So hopefully he sits back and he has some TLC and is all better in time for the semi-final.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he's still... There's just something about the song, and there's something about it that's just insanely catchy, and it's so memorable that I was remembering the first rehearsal performance, like up to I saw the second one, and I think that is it's the staying power that it's got that is why it's becoming this threat, which is why it's sort of like second or third favourite to win the entire contest. Yeah. And then you've got the fact it's Alexander Rybak at the same time, and I do think that people will remember him and will send votes his way because of that. Is it a favourite of mine personally? Still not, but I respect it. That's the thing, you cannot write this one off, and I do think that it is a genuine threat to win.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, give it to Norway, hey honey. We move on to Romania The Humans. Those black mannequins are still conveying their message, that message being humans are losing their feelings and becoming robotic. Y'all gotta have some empathy. Christina has also been ill. She developed a cold and she's currently fighting that, but she sounded great. She's a bit rockier now, whipping that hair back, challenging Eleni for best neck flash kind of moment on stage. That was all well and good. They moved the white mannequins to the back, because that was a bit of a distraction. You were like, black mannequin, black mannequin, black mannequin. Why does the white mannequins? But now that's less distracting. This was already good before, it's still good now.
Yeah, like, there wasn't much difference from the last day. The last day, the song was so low down in the majority of people's rankings that it was like, wow, they've just improved this. It has been a turd and they've polished it into what's close to a diamond. And they still have the diamond, and the diamond hasn't lost any of its luster since then. They've done the few little tweaks, but yeah, it's still a very strong entry, and it's still going to the final.
Yeah, there was very little that they needed to change. They were one of the ones that really aced their first rehearsal, and I think that the only thing they needed to do was to either make that white mannequin more of the story, or, like they've done, shove it to the back. I think the indication is, for some reason, they ordered 50 black mannequins and ended up with 49 and one white one, and it's like, oh well, it's there now. Yeah, no, really, really strong. Her vocal, even if she's got a cold, it was still really, really good. So, fair play to the Humans. I think they are 100% going to the final at this stage, particularly in this semi-final. But I would still say that I think that they are, you know, even in semi-final one, they would be good for that.
Yes, they would. We turn to Serbia Balkanika, Sanja Ilic. Hey, you guys, Belgrade calling. This sound is so mysterious, so mystical, it draws you in. I just wish the staging lived up to that. It feels a bit empty. There's this massive stage. The shots, they're trying to make it more intimate, but it still feels like there's too much space between them. I almost want them to sit down on a couch and just sing the damn song and hit zoom in, because then you'll have that sense of coziness. There is mystery. I like the outfits. They've added black jackets to the female vocalists, but the choreography just feels a little strange. It's kind of like this, yeah, well, what's up? And that don't fit with this song. I love the song, I love the act, but I'm not sure that it's being presented in the best possible way. This is a second semi-final, so anything could happen. Anybody could go to the final. I just don't think they're putting what is a very beautiful foot. They're not putting the best of their beautiful feet forward.
But the dresses are a big improvement, because previously they kind of looked like washed out handmaidens in the court of Zeus, whereas now they kind of have a bit more, they're more ethnic, and it's more like, well, obviously they were kind of Greek ethnic before that, whereas now they're more like maybe Game of Thrones kind of medieval feel, and it makes them seem more warrior-like or something, whereas first they were kind of pushovers and they seemed servient, whereas now they're their own women. And they're doing the kind of the independent women moves from Charlie's Angels. And that's the only way I can interpret those dance moves, because they don't seem very ethnic at all. But the dresses, and I think the skirts seem to be a whiter colour, and it stands out against the black kind of top that they have on instead. But you're right about the choreography and the staging, that it starts to drag. And I don't know how they've managed to do it, because they weren't doing much in Beovizia either, but it didn't drag. And I don't know whether it was because they had the big sleeves and their choreography was simpler, and basically it was just them putting up their hands and their sleeves dripping down.
Yes.
And yet that seemed to capture my attention a lot more than this one, because I didn't feel myself getting bored, whereas now my attention starts to wander midway through, and that's not good.
Yeah, I think I'm exactly the same. This is just boring at the end of the day. I don't know what's going on with it, but I think it was the same in the first rehearsal. I just kept on finding myself just not paying attention because they weren't doing anything to grab my attention. At the end of the day, like, they're doing a few dance movements, they're moving around a little bit, and their biggest issue now, it turns out, is that Montenegro is doing that, but doing it better. Vanya too has, like, sort of female backing, like, dancers and singers in his case, just moving around him, whereas then that's now what's happening with Balkanika, but it's not as good. And I think that this is in real serious danger of not making it. And Serbia, who were once this kind of like, you could always rely on Serbia to qualify, this could be another non-qualification, like third in 5 years or something.
Yeah, they won the first year they competed as an independent nation, and now it's always a little unsteady. In any case, we turn to San Marino. That is Jessika featuring Jenifer Brening. I really like their outfits. The red sparkle. Jessika looks amazing. I was just drawn in instantly. She sounds great as always. This actually, the first rehearsal we were kind of like cringing. I didn't cringe today. I actually quite enjoyed it. I think it looks great. The robot held up a sign that said "Justice for Valentina." Everyone thought that was quite funny, quite amusing. And now the robot doesn't actually propose to her. There's no ring. It's more just reaching out. So not that having sex with the robot is bestiality, but all the unsavory connotations people had previously, like what's going on? Is this some kind of cyborg fantasy? Wahaha. That's gone, and it's just playful and cute. This is much improved. Will it go to the final? No. Okay, that's a no from y'all. Yeah, it's probably not, but I think they can be proud of this, because actually now it's a guilty pleasure. Before it was just what the hell. Now it is a guilty pleasure. This is quite fun, and Jessika and Jenifer serve it. They are both on point. They've really come into their own, and on the big stage, as it moves closer, they're more confident.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much the change of outfit can improve a performance, because Jessica's no longer looks like she's being a model for Adidas or Nike. Instead, she's kind of wearing this body-hugging red dress, and it's sparkly, and it kind of reminds me of Tamara Galakachalad's her dress without the big flowing skirt at the bottom. It's a similar effect. And then Jenny B looks more like a rapper. She doesn't look like a PA who's come in with your files. Because she's wearing this flowing kind of raincoat jacket thing, and it's a similar colour to Jessica's dress. the robots. I don't know why the robots are there. If I had a baseball bat or a golf club, I would individually go whack, whack, whack and knock them all off the stage because they add nothing. They just cheapen the performance. But aside from that, it was much better. I don't think it's at the last day it was at risk of being embarrassing. It's not embarrassing anymore.
No.
Yeah, I mean, God, I just don't think it's fun for what it is. I actually have a worry that they are going to do the proposal thing actually in the show, because this was clearly, they even said like this is just a rehearsal effectively on the other side of this, just as the Valentina thing. So I have a suspicion that there might be that again, and who knows, I don't know if that is some kind of Eurovision fan fiction that I'm just not aware of, but yeah, it's fun for what it is, but it's going nowhere. At this point, effectively, they are making up the numbers again. And, you know, I guess it goes back to that case of what if it was Sarah de Blue? What if it was this? What if it was that? This is what they've got at the end of the day, and there's nothing we can do. Enjoy it for 3 minutes, but that's the only 3 minutes they're going to get on the Eurovision stage, so...
Well, freeze the arrow in the air, something, something, hold it there. I am loving Denmark, you guys. I was a hater initially. I thought it was so lame, but he has got so much charisma. When he's marching and going... There's this thrusting masculine sexuality. It's very raw. He is a warrior on the seven seas, but he comes in peace. That is not a flag of surrender. It's a flag saying, let's stop the conflict. I lay down my armor for the greater good. He's laying his armor down for the greater good. You can call that surrender. He calls it peacemaking. I think this is fantastic. His hair, he told us in an interview on the wiwibloggs YouTube channel, is a bit moussed and elegant at the moment, but it won't be during the show. They don't really care about the makeup right now. They're just focusing on the staging and the song. He says his hair will be all seven C's, a little dirty. When the show actually comes around, it will not be moussed.
Yeah, well, so the thing about this performance was, in the press centre, I found people were inclined to ignore it. That it was kind of like, you nearly forget that it's on. And it was kind of like, oh, Denmark are on, I should be paying attention to this. It's hard to pay attention when we've seen so many other songs. Because their staging, they have improved it slightly today. The lights were turned on a bit higher on their faces, so you could actually see the men. And I think they changed the sail slightly, that whatever way the light was on it, it looked more sail-like. It didn't look like they were hanging out the bed sheets.
Right.
And I don't know what the story was with the snow, because people will remember that himself and his team weren't happy that they had snow made of soap and they wanted snow made of silk. The snow itself, it wasn't as strong as Ireland have a snow effect in theirs as well, and their snow was much more noticeable than Denmark's snow. So I don't know whether it's just because the dispute over snow is affecting the snowfalls in the region, but Denmark, it's not as eye-catching as a song about Vikings should be.
I want to get an Eskimo, because you know they have like 900 words for snow or something. I'd love them to analyze this big snow debate. In any case, hello.
Hey, yeah, I'm Denmark. I've never liked the song, never really liked the performance at DMGP, and I still don't know whether I really do now, because it's just... I'm still just completely stuck on this thing where if you're going to do it whole hog, go further. I'm not saying wear Viking horns and all this and that. I'm just saying give me more drama, give me more theatricality if that's the way you're going to do it. Don't just half-arse it, because that still feels like what they're doing. And I get that it's, a different take on your traditional Viking, because he's a peaceful Viking.
Yeah.
But then make it, I don't know how you make it more obvious, but they've lightened it up a bit, that helps, but it's still just too dark and grungy and this and that, and I don't think I'm ever going to get it, is the thing. And I apologise to all the Denmark fans, I'm never going to get it. Other than the pre-contest parties where it was a lot more stripped back, then it worked. But right now, I just don't like this performance at the end of the day.
I like that it gives a different vibe, these marching men. Again, that masculinity. There's a lot of feminine singers here, divas, but these are dudes doing it for you, doing it for Denmark, doing it for the seven seas, that rich Viking history coming to life. OMG. In any case, that brings our rehearsal reviews, or rather our second rehearsal reviews for the first semifinal and second semifinal to a close. No, it does not.
No, because we've got tomorrow's second.
I am so
sorry.
For
the day. For the day.
Do I need to cut that out and say it again?
No, it's fine. We'll keep going.
See, this is raw and uncensored. I have not had lunch. It's approaching 4 p.m. Excusez-moi. In any case, we will be back with more reviews later. Be sure to let us know what you think here on wiwibloggs of these 5 who is in it to win it and who needs to go. Let us know.
The automatic qualifiers are up for the first time next, so subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our reactions for that.
And make sure to leave a like.
And we will see you later.
Bye!